Hi, Kat here. As promised, I'm back to give you some more information on yoga for your rehabilitation from your tick-borne illness. In case you didn't get the first video, we kind of got knocked out because of a storm. We had to shut down. But I had Rocky Mountain spotted fever in 1979. I was only 17 at the time. And I had lots of complications, but by the grace of God and lots of hard work from some good doctors, I'm here today. And, you know, I want to let you know that throughout this time, you know, I went through a lot of anger and a lot of depression and a lot of bitterness. But it wasn't until I got into my 30s and I discovered yoga, and I discovered that it really started helping me with my aches and pains and my joints and some of the residual effects of the illness. And so I've met some people on the website of the survivors of Rocky Mountain spotted fever, the Facebook group, and and Lyme's disease and other tick-borne pathogens. And one thing that I've discovered is that all of us have kind of similar symptoms, some similar residual effects of it. And I know how much this has helped me, so I'm really eager to share it with you. So today we went, on the first video, we went through a few little seated warm-up poses, and then we went through one full round of a sun salutation. I usually recommend to do that like 3 times in a row, but if you can only get through it once, that's plenty. You know, yoga is a work from where you're at exercise. So, you know, you may want to even start in a chair, or which I'm going to be doing a video on doing this in a chair. So if you feel like that this may be a little bit too challenging for you at this point, you know, just hold off for the next couple of days. I swear to you, the chair class is coming, so just hold on. But, you know, you just take it from where you're at. If you get tired, you can take a break. You know, this is not one of those push as hard as you can exercises. We want to keep that relaxation response going to the brain. We want to make sure that you get the best fulfillment out of your practice. It's not designed to hurt you. It is designed to help you. I'm going to be honest with you. As you go through these poses, they may not always be comfortable, especially in the beginning. You know, muscles pulling and stretching, you know, sometimes can be quite uncomfortable. So what I recommend for you to do is I recommend that you get to a point that you're feeling a stretch in the pose, or you're feeling the power of a strengthening pose. And once you get to that point, I want you to stop there and I want you to breathe. Don't worry about range. This is never about range. So don't worry about how far you're going or not going. Just be where you are. Be true to yourself. You know, feel what you feel. And just stop there without comparison, without judgment. One of the things that I did when I first started doing yoga as a result of probably an emotional response to my illness was I tried to control every pose. You know, I was gonna make it, you know, my bitch. But what I had to do was I had to just let it go. I had to let all of that surrender, and then, you know, go into the pose and not control it, not judge it, not judge myself in the pose, not, you know, I mean, you have to just be true to who you are. And, you know, so with that in mind, we're going to go through some standing poses today. I want you to breathe consistently through the nose, inhaling and exhaling. Take it at your own pace. Work with your own range of flexibility, your own level of strength. Don't judge, control, or, you know, try to define yourself in the poses, because we change from moment to moment to moment. So, you know, who you are right now may not be who you are an hour from now. Well, who you are right now is not going to be who you are an hour from now, because in an hour we're going to be different. We're going to have different life circumstances and experiences that are going to change us. If the poses feel too challenging, then of course you want to walk away. But I don't want you to walk away at the first hint of challenge, because one of the things that this illness has taught me is that life is full of challenges. And some challenges we can control and some we can't. But if on the ones that we can't control, if we can breathe through it and we can relax through it and not be so reactive to it, then that's when we start seeing the healing and the progress happening. So without further ado, let's go ahead and come into Tadasana, our standing mountain pose. We're going to bring our toes together and our heels are going to be about 1 inch apart. And we're going to just bring a little body awareness into this. I would like you to bring your awareness down to the soles of your feet, and I would like you to start noticing what you feel on the soles of your feet. You may be feeling the pressure kind of up on your toes or back on your heels. Maybe your feet fall in, maybe they fall out to the side. I want you to balance yourself around so that you feel that weight on your feet on all 4 sides evenly with the arches lifted. If you have fallen arches, I hear this all the time, if you have fallen arches, don't get hung up on that whole arches lifted thing. It's about sending a signal from the brain to those muscles to start lifting those muscles and start pulling up from there and lifting that energy. Whether or not you get any movement in that response is irrelevant. What we want is just actually the brain and the mind and the body connection here. That's what we want. So okay, you're going to ground through your feet. Let's bring this up the legs. We want our knees soft. If you start locking your knees, number 1, you're going to hurt your knees even more. And that's, for me, that's where the main amount of my joint pain is in my knees, hips, and ankles. So, you know, if you're overstressing them, you're going to hurt worse, and we don't want that. So you're going to bring your knees where they're soft. You know, look at your calves. They're really having to work hard. You know, your thighs are engaged and working hard. You're going to drop your tailbone down, and that's going to protect your lower spine, your lumbar spine. You're going to pull up the pelvic floor in what we call Mula Bandha, which is a lock, an energy lock in yoga. So you're going to pull that up. You're going to engage the lower abdominal muscles. You're going to lift through the chest. You're going to pull the shoulders back and down. You're going to keep the back of your neck open. And you're going to take a couple of deep breaths through your nose. Just in alignment. Just see how that feels, just to be in alignment. Taking slow, long, deep breaths. As you inhale, give yourself a little count as you inhale. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. And just kind of keep that rhythm with your breathing, synchronizing the breath with the counting. And just relax. Relax through the shoulders. Bring your hands into prayer position right at your sternum. Now for those of you who may have elbow and wrist pain, I want you to, use some discernment here. I want you to see if if it's hurting you, if it is, back off. If not, press those hands together. Really press them open. This is a great stretch for the wrists and the elbow joints to get that energy in. One of the philosophies of yoga is that energy gets bound up at our dense connective tissues. And when we stretch those tissues out, like our ligaments and tendons and things that are at the big joints, those big dense connective tissues, when we stretch those out, that frees up the energy to move into the joints and to move through our body freely and allowing that healing to happen. We breathe deep to oxygenate our blood, and then we turn our body into positions to send that oxygenated, energized blood into different areas of our body. Okay, from here, we're going to take a step back with our right foot. Now make it about 3/4 of a leg distance. So you want it to be a pretty good stride, and we're going to go through a few standing poses just from right here. So what I want you to do is I want you to line up the toe and the heel of the front foot. We did this in the sun salutation part. We went through it a little bit. I'm going to go through it a little deeper today. Toe and heel of the front foot with the middle of the arch of the back foot. Okay, then we're going to set up for the first pose. You're going to pick up that back heel and you're going to turn it toward the wall behind you at a 45-degree angle, and that is going to square your hips to the front. So that right hip is going to pull forward. Okay, we're going to inhale. You're going to bring your arms up. Now, this is called Virabhadrasana 1 or Warrior 1 pose. And in this pose, it's a little bit of a back bend, it's a little bit of a leg opener, a little bit of a leg strengthener, a little bit of everything here. We got a lot going on. Arm strengthener, shoulder opener. It's just a little bit of everything. If you're really tight in your shoulders, You're gonna leave your arms shoulder distance apart. You can even bring them out a little bit in front if they don't wanna pull up, wherever you're comfortable, wherever you're at. You can even bring your hands together if you feel comfortable with that. And you can gaze to your thumbs. As you exhale, you're gonna bend that front knee. Now, check the alignment of the knee. Knees are vulnerable. We want to take care of them. That front knee is going to be bent, and it's going to be at a 90-degree angle right over your ankle. So, you know, you're not going to be pushing forward. If you feel like you're not getting enough of a stretch in your legs, slide that back foot back a little bit. But don't press forward through the knee, because now all you're doing is putting a lot of pressure on it. You also don't want that knee to fall in or fall out. Usually it has a tendency to fall in. The muscles in the inner thigh and the groin muscles are tight, so it pulls that knee forward. What I want you to do is I want you to start stretching those muscles out by pulling that knee over toward your baby toe. And you're going to just line it up there. Okay, here we go. Full range of the pose. Inhaling. Take a couple of deep breaths. Relax into it. Relax your face. And then we're going to move on to our next pose. So as we exhale, keep that breath going. Keep it consistent. As we exhale, you're going to extend your arms out in line with your shoulders. And you're going to turn that back foot just back to where it's just parallel with your heel in front. You're just lined up there. And you're going to press down on the little toe side. You're going to stretch those arms out like somebody's pulling you in two different directions. This is called Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. And I want you to take your gaze. Gazing points are very, very important in yoga. You're going to take your gaze to the third finger of your left hand here. And you're going to breathe into this. Again, making sure that that knee stays right over the ankle. Chances are you're starting to feel your thigh and your legs. That's good. You know, if this is challenging for you, that's one thing. You know, kind of see how long you can stay with the challenge without hurting yourself. We don't want to run away from challenges. We want to breathe through them. And then we're going to inhale. You're going to lift that front knee without locking it. You're going to exhale, extending out. Bringing your left hand down to your left shin. It can be on your ankle, up to your knee. It can be on your thigh. It can be down at the floor, wherever you're comfortable. And then you're going to bring the right hand toward the ceiling. Now, in this pose, people have a tendency to do this. I don't want you to do that. If this is hard for you to do and keep your body straight, bring that hand up your leg. I want your chest to open. I want you to start working on your range of motion. Opening up through the heart, through the shoulders. And keep in mind, I had a partial paralysis on one side of my body. In fact, this right side. So this is a bit of a struggle for me. This is a challenge. And we are going to exhale, releasing down from the pose. Coming back up, bringing your hands into prayer position. Engaging the lower abdominal muscles, working from the core of your body. Stepping forward. Take a breath. Recenter yourself. Breathe. And then step back with the left foot. Same thing. About 3/4 of a leg distance, pick up that back heel, turn it to the back. So we're stretching forward through that left hip. Inhaling, bringing the arms up, either shoulder distance apart or hands touch. Exhaling, bending that front knee. Keeping it right over the ankle, keeping your feet firmly planted, keeping your smile on your face. Keeping relaxed, keeping breathing. This is good for us. And we want to be joyous and we want to be playful in it too. We don't want it to be just so serious and so focused that it takes all the joy out of it. We want it to be joyful. Exhaling out to warrior two. Turning that foot ever so slightly, that right or that left foot. Extending out, looking over the right fingertips. Stretching out through both arms. Warrior two. Inhaling that front knee, lifting it. Exhaling out for Trikonasana or triangle pose. Left hand goes to the ceiling, right hand goes to your shin, ankle, floor, knee, thigh, wherever is comfortable. You can even have a chair in front of you to put your hand on the chair. Whatever feels good to you. Again, it's not about range. It's not about having to go to any particular point in any of these poses. It's not even imperative that you learn all of these poses. You know, you just want to find the place in your heart where you're stretching and you're opening and you're releasing these challenges for yourself and you're strengthening your body and you're getting empowerment. Inhaling, pulling yourself up. Exhaling, releasing your hands to your heart center. Bend that front knee and step forward. Long step. I have long legs. So go ahead and come back into Tadasana. Take a couple of breaths. And then step back with your right foot. Go ahead and turn both feet toward the side of your mat, and you're going to pigeon toe your feet slightly. You're going to bring your hands onto your hips. You're going to ground through those feet. You're going to really press them down and keep your knees soft. Exhaling, extending out with the longest spine that you can possibly extend out with. Bringing your hands down onto the floor, or a block, or a chair, whatever is comfortable for you. Go with who you are. Be true to yourself in these poses. Come high onto your fingertips, lengthen out through that spine, and exhale. Drop down a little farther if you can. Taking a break, breathing into it. Let your facial muscles relax. Let the backs of your legs relax. Let your lower back relax, your neck, shoulders, all those places where we hold tension. Go ahead and walk your hands up to the front of your mat, turning your left foot toward the front of your mat, coming on the toes of your left foot. And we're going to step back to downward facing dog. We're going to just keep this little inversion happening here. Oh, releasing into it, turning those sit bones up as high as we can possibly get them. Bend your knees a little bit if you have to do that. That's fine. It's not a big deal. Press back through your heels, though, and press forward through your palms. So you really have some activity going on in your body. You know, it's one thing to just get into these poses, but to actually work these poses. That's really where you want to go. Go ahead and drop down onto your knees. And fold back to child's pose. So you're just going to sit back onto your heels. You're going to bring your hands forward. And you're going to drop your head down to the floor. Now, if you're really, really tight and you just can't do this, you can put a pillow under your seat. You can put a block or a pillow underneath your head. You know, anywhere that you have to go in order to keep yourself supported in this pose. Because this is a pose of complete surrender. You want to just relax in it. Keep that breath moving. Go ahead and inhale, rolling yourself up, and swing your legs around in front of you. And we're going to do a pose called Janu Shirshasana, which is Sanskrit for half-seated forward fold. And, you know, this is one that you might want to use a necktie or a belt or a strap that you can wrap around your foot if you can't reach your foot. But you're going to extend your left leg out. You're going to bring your right foot in, and you're going to bring the heel of your right foot right into the inside of your thigh, right at the groin. You're going to plant those sit bones, the two bony bones right at the base of your spine. You're going to plant them evenly. You're going to let that right knee just drop toward the floor. Sometimes it's up like this. If you're really tight, you're going to, it may be anywhere. It's not imperative that the knee go to the floor. You just want it relaxing and going in that direction. Hands are in line with your hips. Your torso is squared toward the front, right over your left leg. Your left foot is flexed back toward your head, so you've got lots of activity going on in your leg there. You're going to press down on that thigh bone. You're going to just press it down into the mat, and we're going to inhale. You're going to bring your arms up. As you exhale, you're going to extend out, grasping wherever is comfortable for you. It may be, you can't even get near your foot. Again, use that strap, wrap it around. I don't have a strap handy. How could this be? Anyway, you reach out, you grab wherever is comfortable for you, and then you release into it. Drop your head down, breathe. Now I want you to inhale and lift, and now we're going to take our gaze forward. So you're going to stretch that spine out long. Taking that gazing point forward, lengthening out through the spine. Inhale and bringing yourself back up, pressing through the sit bones, stretching tall. Exhale and bringing your hands back down. Switching sides, extending the right leg out, pulling the left foot in. I always think of the hokey pokey when I do this. I always want to sing that part. Please don't get me started because I probably will. Hands are in line with your hips. Flex that foot. Sit bones are grounded evenly. Inhaling. Exhaling, extending out. Dropping your head down. Releasing. And then inhaling, lifting through the chest. Exhaling, extending out. And again, only go to where you can comfortably go. If you're struggling and you're straining, trying to get to your foot, now we have got this total stress response going to your brain, which is going to make your body tighten up even more. It's going to, be actually very counterproductive to what we're trying to do. So you want to be very relaxed, and you just want to extend out, grasping your foot, relaxing into it. Breathing into it, taking your gaze forward. Making sure you're not clenching your teeth or grimacing or any of those things. You're just relaxed. Big smile on your body right now. Inhaling, coming up. Exhaling, pressing your hands down. Now we're going to do full seated forward fold, which is called Paschimottanasana. So you're going to press both feet out in front of you. You're going to press out through your heels. You're going to flex your toes back toward your head. And this pose is very, very important that both feet are even. That one foot isn't pressing up farther than the other, or that they're not doing this. I see a lot of people do that. We don't want them to do that. So you're going to bring your hands down in line with your hips. You're going to inhale, bringing your arms up. As you exhale, you're going to bend from the hips, extending out, dropping your head down, and breathing. This pose is really, really good for realigning the skeleton. We want to just let our body just kind of readjust and realign. And again, make sure that you're not clenching your teeth. In the last pose, we rounded over a little bit in the beginning, and then we lifted and we extended out and deepened into the pose. In Paschimottanasana, you're going to approach this the opposite way. You're going to approach it with a flat spine, and then you're going to drop your head down. And that gives you that full stretch. And truly opening up these muscles and stretching out these muscles are going to release so much more energy into your joints. I've been where you are. I know how hard it is. I know how, and if I miss a few yoga classes, I'm right back there again. So, you know, we want to just make sure that we keep ourselves stretched out and strong. And then we're going to inhale, you're going to pull yourself up, lengthening through your spine. Pressing down through those sit bones, exhaling, releasing your hands down. And then we're going to do our final pose of the day, which is a relaxation pose. And we'll, you know, I'll do more videos as we go along. There are thousands of yoga poses, so we have lots to play with here. But go ahead and lie down for now. And just bring your feet out in front of you. Now, if you have a hard time laying flat on your back, you can elevate your knees with a pillow, and that will take the pressure off the small of your back. Otherwise, just bring your feet out in front of you, let your feet fall open, bring your hands down at your side, and you're going to lay here for a few minutes and just let that energy run after we have opened up all those muscles. This is our final relaxation pose. It's called corpse pose or shavasana, and it's actually quite blissful. Put on a little light music, burn a little lavender oil in your scent burner, and lay here for about 5 minutes. Until next time, I'm Kat Robinson. I hope you get something out of this. I hope it helps you. And like I said, in a couple of days, we'll have that chair video on here, so just keep bearing with me. And I love you all, and namaste.